impossible kind of candy. I'm like, I'm all about. Good morning. It's the Todd and Erin morning stream here on GetBarDaily.com. This is a magnificent morning. It's also 14 degrees, which is cold. So just remember that.
Only if you're watching on February 21st at 7:01.
All right. Thank you for clarifying.
All right.
Alrighty.
Look at this. Don't forget, Valentine's chocolates are on sale. Look for the big carts full of sort of chocolate. It's chocolate light.
You know what? I just waited for the day after so I could go buy all the flowers. But I had forgotten that because our nanny said, yeah, but you wait for after Valentine's Day to buy the chocolate. And I'm like, I didn't even think of that.
But, yeah, but it's not real chocolate.
Well, I don't like chocolate, which, as I was just telling our friend Mike, is
Yes.
the only reason I still fit through a door. Because that's the only candy I don't love.
You lost your woman card, too.
I'm sorry, it's the only... No, salted caramel still puts me in the mix. I'm okay. Let's go to the Morning Mountain Cam. It's brought to you by Brio Technologies. That is gorgeous. Brio Technologies are experts in lighting, sound, and video. Go to brioaudiovisual.com. This is actually sort of looking like winter. Now it can go away again. We've seen it. I'm fine. Just, you can
Yes,
go.
we appreciate it so much. Stop it. The Olympics. Vaughn, I'm so happy about her.
Okay, I find this incredibly entertaining that both the best and the worst of the Olympics this year are from Utah.
Why is it the worst?
Lindsey Vonn.
Yes.
Amazing.
She got a bronze.
I mean, this woman is a rock star, and we've talked about before about she's had 2 career-ending injuries that she fought back from, and that she's beautiful and resilient and amazing.
And she's almost retirement age in skiing because she's 29.
And this is a big deal because, I mean, the U.S. is not doing as great as we hoped this year. We wanted to do better, but everyone's busting their hearts out, and she got a bronze, and she's amazing, and she's a goddess.
That's the way you do it.
But here's the one that I can't
what is the
help
worst?
not kind of love her.
What?
Elizabeth Swanee. Now, she has a background, international background, but she lives here in Utah.
Okay.
Now, she reminds me a lot of Eddie the Eagle.
What does she do?
Because of the heart. Now, Eddie the Eagle, if you haven't seen the movie, this is the British guy who was bound and determined to be in the Olympics.
He's the only one who qualified. He's a Brit.
Middle-class guy, ridiculously thick glasses. No one knows how he even got the money because it's always a very well-bred sport, and you ride horses in the summer and then you ski in the winter.
No sponsors, nothing.
And did it, and he did it, and he ended up in ski jumps, and he did one, and it was great. And then people said, "Well, you're not real because you didn't do the next." And so he went, "I'm going to do the next." And everyone remember they're just like, "Just live." That is all we're just.
They just wanted him to make a landing. That's
all they wanted.
It doesn't even matter. It's like, when you see him and the guys go all the way down to the bottom, and remember those green boughs they put out so they can have depth perception? He didn't have to worry about that because he came down off the jump and it was like, whoop, boonk.
It was, but you know what? He was a hero. Well, this.
Let me say this.
I love because
Britain didn't have a jumping team at all. He was it.
Yeah. Okay,
right,
Elizabeth Swanee's here from Utah.
Okay, sorry.
The girl's got a dream.
She got a dream.
The girl's got a dream.
And?
Now, she has an international background. I believe it's Hungary. I think she's with the Hungary team.
Right.
She went and did the half pipe yesterday. She went on to the half pipe, went up, whoop, and the commentators are going, "Oh, okay, and maybe she'll be executing the three-quarter." So she just very carefully, whoosh, 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 boop, and then got off and left, and she went, "Thank you." Not a single trick, not a single flip, not a single anything.
That is hilarious.
She just very carefully did it so that she could go and get all the way off, and she had done her run. She finished dead last. But she was in the Olympics.
She made the landing.
She had worked very hard,
right? And
she made the landing. So yeah, she's not she's not one of these genetically designed, monsters who's great at it. But this was her little dream.
Well, first of all,
and I kind of love her. I can't help it.
Is she representing the U.S.?
No, I believe
Hungary.
I think she got through Hungary. I think that's how she got it.
And just the fact that she made it down. Here's the pipe. Okay.
It is not an easy run.
Here's the pipe. And the borders go up like this, and they go up like this.
Twist, 25
feet.
Yeah.
Well, if they screw up, they drop 25 feet, and they drop another 21 feet. So you're going to fall from 50-plus feet, and not 50.
And
my math is horrible.
She did a very nice little scoop, where maybe she got just a bit off the edge,
Behind, if I ever went on that, there'd be a yellow line behind me the entire way down as I boarded my way to safety.
So people
that is so awesome.
So they've been criticizing her and saying that that's mediocrity. But I'm like, but it's not mediocrity.
Not for her.
She totally busted her butt to get to that thing, and you could see how careful and focused she was doing it, and it was very pretty. It wasn't fancy, but
you couldn't stand on the edge and look down without peeing. It's just death.
I don't know. So I just kind
I
of
love
love
her.
her. I'm
I love
sorry.
her.
I think
I love
she's
her.
awesome. So yeah, Utah, best and worst.
Yesterday, during the snowstorm from death, 450 accidents along the Wasatch Front.
Overachieving. Well
first
done.
real snow
Well
of the
done.
winter. 4 troopers got hit, not them people, but their cars.
Oh boy.
But I want to show you how you do this, because basically a car came around a corner. He pulled up. Police had an accident. Police pull up and make sure you're okay. Calls for backup. Backup shows up, parks his car behind him, and then another car makes the same turn, does the same move that the other car did, and it was heading towards
This guy has
the cop cars.
the reflexes of a gazelle.
Watch this.
Watch this.
Watch
This is amazing.
Watch this. Out of the way.
Oh my God.
All in a day's work. Are you kidding me?
Can you play that again, Richard? Because
he will.
I'm dying right now.
He will. So that's the dash cam of the other car.
I am absolutely dying right
Highway
now.
Patrol. And
Look at that.
dancing for my life.
He's spotting it, going, I'm fleeing like a gazelle. Look at the grace of those legs. Oh, very
Nice.
nice, Richard.
doing
nice.
the cha-cha. Oh my gosh.
I wonder how fast that car was
kidding
going.
me? Enough to move vehicles.
Wow. I can't even imagine having reflexes like that.
Oh my gosh. I could watch this all day. Make him dance again.
No, don't make him
Make
dance.
him dance. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
What is wrong with you?
Okay. We're glad he's okay.
Wow.
Do-do-do.
Can you imagine, though, watching it come for you going, well, there you go. There's my fate.
And what are the words you use to that driver once you've survived and see this guy come hauling in to the accident site and smash into your cars? What do you say to a cop when you roll your window down? Sorry.
Yeah. I think they get to do that extra thing where they get to pistol whip you at least once before they give you the ticket. And I almost wouldn't blame him.
They don't.
I would
do
be
that.
like, go ahead.
No, they make you do it to yourself. And they
That
catch it
seems
on
more
body
reasonable.
cam. It's an awesome move. Tax on food. 40 states don't do this in the United States of America. 40 states do not tax food. I don't think I've lived in a state where they tax food because it seems kind of silly, doesn't it?
This one I actually thought was kind of interesting. They want to remove the food tax excluding candy.
Right.
Which people are like, well, that's so punitive. And I'm like, no, that's actually really freaking genius. Because a lot of the new medical research, I've talked to friends who've just gotten out of med school, and they say everything focuses now on the dangers of sugar and the impact, even
Right.
more so than alcohol and tobacco. And so I just thought that
But you're
was
entering
actually kind of smart.
You're entering a gray area.
How so?
Well, you get to Captain Crunch. Candy or food? Really? Pop-Tarts. Candy or food? See the problem? Candy or food?
Yeah. Captain. I'll pay higher for Captain Crunch. I'm all right with it.
Fudge with walnuts. Candy. Nuts.
Omega-3 fatty acids.
Candy nuts. Candy nuts. Nuts and candy.
Where did you hide those candied nuts in the fudge my mom brought, by the way, for Valentine's Day?
I'm sorry they're gone. We're all sick, by the way.
Did you seriously eat all of my mom's fudge?
I had to. I had to save the children. You were in bed with a cold that I now have.
No, I had pneumonia and I couldn't get out of bed.
And why would you give sugar? Because of what she just said about university studies and the badness of sugar. Why would I give that to her? I instead sacrificed myself and ate all the fudge. Oh, and the candied walnuts.
You deserve this cold.
They were
You deserve it.
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
So anyway, they're going to drop it. They're going to raise. They're going to raise another tax.
Well, it still has to go. It passed the House.
It'll
it has
happen.
to go to the general.
It'll
I think
happen.
it's a great idea.
Sales tax and other purchase sales tax. They're going to do sales tax rise on other things so that they can make up the difference. And it's kind of like the gas tax. I mean, the gas tax is like 20 cents a gallon. It's ridiculous, along with the other taxes and stuff. They're starting to look for other resources because people's cars are more efficient, using less gas. Then the whole hybrid thing is happening. And that's how they fix the roads and stuff. And give themselves raises. Jerks.
Raises. Yeah, I remember the raises. That's good.
Remember that?
All right. This is like one of the most funny things I think that we've ever talked about. And I can only say this because my niece is currently living in another country where she had met her husband on a mission, and they got married, and she's now pregnant, and he's going to school, and she has a mother-in-law that is very
Our computer was smoking.
controlling.
I stood away from it.
Now they actually don't use Facebook, which is to my good fortune, so I could actually ask, because what had happened is my niece is really sweet, but she's kind of shy, and she is they've got a midwife, which was a big issue with the mother-in-law to start with, and then they're to the point where they're talking about the birthing room, and her mom is going to fly down for the birth, and the mother-in-law said, "It is my right to be there.
So what do you mean be there?
It is my right to be in the birthing room.
Oh, in the room.
It is my right." And she said, "No, my mom's not even going to be in the birthing room. No, I don't want anyone but my husband and the midwife." And which seems
I mean, like
reasonable.
right there?
Yeah. And, holding her leg. Now I've been in, there are people where it is a village, and our beautiful baby mama, when she was giving birth to Zoe, which still makes me verklempt, I got to hold her leg, I got to cut the cord. Todd was outside shouting encouragement.
I was behind a curtain.
We had,
like Wizard of Oz.
There were sisters and best friends and moms and nanas, and if you are into that, and you can do
awesome.
It is beautiful.
Tribe of women. It was really cool.
But if you are not into that,
no.
It is horrifying. So, and the woman
there were more cameras than I've seen on a tourist group. Can I just say that? It was like they're going to Disneyland.
It was awesome. No, our baby mom is the most amazing woman ever.
There's your Christmas card.
But this is at a point now where it's actually causing marital strife, because he's like, he says, "I can't stand up to my mom," and she's like, "You gotta." So I went online and on Facebook, and I said, "What do you think?" So I made the mistake of putting that on the Todd and Erin page and our Todd Erin Caller page, and we ended up with 1,737 comments.
The computer was smoldering.
Yeah, just in case you're wondering, the sentiment ran 99.5% in favor of my niece, and basically that she gets to do anything. But some of the quotes were hysterical, so I wanted to read a couple. Can you put those up? "This is your special day. She needs to butt out." This was cool. Diane said, "I've been in the room for 12 grandkids, and it's a beautiful thing. Mom can stand at the top. She's being selfish and putting her husband in a bad place. She can be the picture taker, too." Now, I was nice, and I was kind of like, "Well, you got there for that's great." She goes, the girl is being selfish. It's her birth." I didn't show you the rest of the replies because those were smoldering. Next one. This is basically... the mother-to-be gets to choose what visitors are in the delivery room. The father of the baby doesn't even have the right to be there if the mom doesn't want to be there. Now, this is a labor and delivery nurse, and I loved having this. She said, "Look, you can totally use us as the bad guys. You can totally have us go,
perfect.
No, and that way you're off the hook. We'll just go, no, we're concerned about, prenatal stress, baby stress. You can't come in. Fetal distress.
You're an ogre."
And, she said, "Don't even tell her when you're going to the hospital."
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh, that's awesome.
This one I love.
We forgot to call.
This one else, she goes, "Don't be on the public directory. Don't put your name in it." That's what we did. So she said, we don't mind being the bad guys if it comes to that, because we see more incidences of fetal distress because there's like all this family arguing. So can you do the next page? I thought that was really smart, genius ideas. And then Adrienne says, "When my husband was willing to sit in stirrups naked as a jaybird with a watermelon coming out of him with my mom in the room watching, I'll consider it." That basically ended the discussion with the first and all other deliveries.
Wow.
And then the last one I thought was really cool. That's it? Okay.
Yeah.
And then there was one more where basically, the common rule everyone came up with is, our rule is if you were in the room when the baby was conceived, you get to be there when the baby is born.
That's funny.
And it's kind of that flat down, rule. It's like really hard to argue with that.
Because, you think about it, and you've been thinking about having a baby, right? And like when you're a teenager, you're going, "I think I'll have kids." Or you think about it and you play with kids and you go, "I really like kids. This will be great." And then you go through and then you're pregnant. And then you decide that this is going to be your big day. You have planned on this for a long, long time, right? And then that day gets screwed over because mom-in-law wants to be there. This is like inviting your ex to your wedding. That's what it's like. It just ruins the whole thing.
Well, there was one instance that I didn't get to read there where this woman actually was in heavy labor, and her mother-in-law actually fought with the nurse and got in the room and was screaming, and she shoved her own mother and even her husband aside so she could take pictures. I mean, that to me is like, that is like the key point of psycho mother-in-law. And then there were several moms-in-law who said, if I got invited, I would be really honored.
Sure.
And it would be cool. Yeah, Karen, like that. That's what I mean. We're looking at Facebook right now, if you're following us on Facebook. She said, I would be honored. She said, I wasn't invited once. She said, my job is just to be there if they need me, which I think is a wonderful sentiment.
I think so, too.
So, I mean, most people were sane. A lot of people were really pissed off. It was just... So, yeah, 99.95% were pretty much in favor of the mother.
All right, well, it is now time for information.
All right, let's go to Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by Always Black Friday. Always Black Friday, 30 to 75% off every day, 12th Street in Ogden. Also by Denali Medical Center. Now, look, if you've got joint injuries or you've got constant migraines and misery, these are the guys that can take care of you. They can heal the injuries, no more chronic pain, and without opioids. And, of course, by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. If you want to make sure that everything's working in tip-top condition so you're saving hundreds in energy bills, why don't you give them a call? allutahplumbing.com. Daisy, my dear, what's going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Hello, everyone. Here's what's making news on Wednesday, February 21st on GephartDaily.com. Murray Fire Department crews responding to a structure fire Tuesday night had to deal not only with the blaze, but with temperatures in the teens. About 18 firefighters were dispatched at about 7:20 to a house near 4600 South Cherry Street. The house was uninhabited and was being used for storage. It took about 15 minutes to get the fire under control. Murray City Fire Captain Matt Bolden said keeping crews from freezing was a high priority. With the cold snap, we're also trying to keep people warm, he said. The cause of the fire is under investigation. A seventh man has been arrested in Iron County after making arrangements to have sex with what he thought would be two 13-year-old girls. The last man, 46-year-old Eugene Alvarado, drove from Sunnydale, California to Paragona, Utah, a trip of 730 miles, and immediately was cuffed and booked. Like the 6 suspects before him, Alvarado allegedly communicated with a confidential informant to arrange details of the encounter, then traveled to a house in northern Iron County where law enforcement officers moved in and made the arrest. And West Valley City has announced its new police chief. She is Colleen Jacobs, who was also interim chief after the retirement of its former chief, Lee Russo, in September. Jacobs has been in law enforcement 21 years. She's worked for the West Valley Police Department her entire career. During her career, Jacobs has served in patrol, investigations, narcotics, grants, internal affairs, and as deputy chief. She also attended FBI National Academy. And time now for your Wasatch Front forecast, brought to you by Brio Technologies, Utah's top audiovisual specialists. Utah temperatures were well below freezing last night and dipped below zero in at least half a dozen locations around the state. Skies will be partly cloudy with little chance of snow today or Thursday, but you will need your jacket all day. Mother Nature is not fooling around. That's it for now. For more news 24/7, go to GephartDaily.com. For now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you, my dear Daisy. We appreciate it.
All right, I want to tell you about All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. One of the nice things about them is they're going to be straight up front. You might get other bids. They might be less, but there's a reason why they're less. Number one, when they come in and they give you a bid at All Utah Plumbing, they are taking into account all the problems they're going to they might run into, as opposed to piling more on top of the repair or the remodel. For more information, go to allutahplumbing.com.
Alrighty, tell me something good. Now, I love telling me something good because there are so many different points, especially in the morning when my faith in mankind tends to be shaken. So this comes halfway through where we're like, okay, we can all redeem ourselves. We can always be happy. So brought to you by Always Black Friday. They are 30 to 75% off every day. And they're on 12th Street in Ogden. You can go online and take a look at some of the stock they've got in it.
Now,
it's
a lot of
amazing.
A lot of these stories actually start off like really horrific.
This one's one of those.
Okay, so stay with it though. Don't go away because it'll ruin your day.
All right. So the airline worker's name's Denise, and
I'm sorry. The what?
It's an airline worker for American Airlines.
Okay, got it.
Name is Denise, and she was checking in 2 girls, and she thought, okay, this is really squirrely. They were 12 and 14. They approached the counter at Sacramento International Airport. For starters, they were traveling alone with only like a little backpack, and they had first class tickets, bought with their parents. credit card, I guess. So instead of allowing the girls to board the flight, she kept talking to them for a minute while she was calling the police, going, "Hey, what are you going to be doing in New York?" And they went, "Oh, we've got a modeling contract. There's a guy, and he's a big agency, and he said, you don't even have to pack much because I have wardrobes here of things, and we'll make your portfolios, and you're going to be models." So and then she looked further, and it wasn't even their parents' credit card, which they had lied and said it was. It was a stolen credit card. So he had bought them tickets on a stolen credit card.
Right, so she called the police, right?
So she called the police. Airport police discovered they'd been contacted on Instagram by a man named Dre, who had offered them $2,000 to fly to New York City for a modeling gig so they could sign with a big agency.
And so they skipped out
12 and 14.
So they skipped out on their parents.
And think about how dumb you were at 12 and 14. And you're going to get a modeling gig. Oh, I hate that phrase for little girls. It just makes me nuts.
So question. So I know that they're training people.
And they were also shocked to find out the tickets were one way. They didn't know that either. They were young and so yeah.
So I know they're training personnel and stuff to kind of recognize this. And they recognize the fact that if the child is sitting in a seat next to a person, if they're quiet, they don't talk.
Behaviors, yeah.
Maybe they're look like they're drugged a little bit. They don't go anywhere.
They're not allowed to go to the bathroom by themselves.
Right.
The person will stand outside the bathroom with them.
Some of the signs of what the deal is. And they've had a numerous amount of people when they've landed that the police are there to figure it out, to make sure that everything's on the up and up.
So the parents race to the airport and they're crying and they say, "We've got to meet Denise, this person who did this for us." And they said, "Oh, we know who you're talking about. Her name's Denise Miracle. We call her by her last name because this is the 4th time she's spotted human trafficking."
Wow.
Her last name is Denise Miracle. Isn't that sweet?
That's very awesome.
All right, that's pretty cool. Coming up,
Adventure Dude.
Okay, but first we have to talk about Christopher's. This is our bribery. This is our thank you. This is our love for you being so amazing and staying with us this long. So essentially it's dinner for 4. You get to have a fabulous night. Everything is taken care of.
It's awesome.
All you have to do is drop a comment. If you're watching us on Facebook today, maybe you're on the Get Part Daily page, Get Part Approved, just say hi. If you're on the Todd and Erin page and you're part of the big group of girls, hi guys, we love you. Just drop a comment saying Christopher's. Friday we draw a winner.
All right.
That's it.
Coming up, Tony Abbott. Who is Tony Abbott? He's the outdoor dude. Why is he outdoor dude? Because after he does his expo, which we're going to tell you about, right after that, where does he go? Thailand. Why? Diving. Then what's he do? He flies back to Utah. What's he do then? He grabs his wife. Then what's he do? He goes to...
is it Singapore?
No, he's going to
New Zealand?
New Zealand. And meanwhile...
So jealous.
I can't find my remote. Talk to him next.
The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by UtahCreditApproval.com. Bad things happen to good people, but you can get your credit back on track and get a reliable automobile by giving them a call. 801-404-7201. And also by Columbus Travel with spectacular deals on cruises and all-inclusive vacations. Go to ColumbusVacations.com. And All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air, where they have a winter special that they can check out your furnace and make sure that it's operating efficiently, saving you hundreds of dollars in energy bills. Just go to AllUtahPlumbing.com. Did you know that you can catch the Todd and Erin Morning Stream on Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, and GetPartDaily.com any time of the day or night?
At Always Black Friday, we love a good deal. We buy new and used products at a discount so we can pass on the savings to you. And we're Get Part approved. From electronics to clothing to appliances. If you want it, we have it at discount prices. Visit our eBay store or come to our warehouse at 865 West 12th Street in Ogden. Always Black Friday, where you can find Black Friday deals all year round.
Happy Black Friday!
Oh my goodness! He just attacked that! Oh dude! That is freaking awesome!
There's about a 5.5, 6 foot octopus. Come back well, 10 yards.
No, it was me and my wife.
All right. So anyway, Todd and Erin, Morning Stream, GetPartDaily.com, Tony Abbott.
Why does Tony have a better opening than we do?
I know, right?
Because they have pity on me.
I want the big
You guys
fish.
are the best. How are you guys doing?
Very good.
Good morning,
Yourself?
Maddie. How are
I'm
you?
glad you're back.
Thank you. I
You were
missed
like
you.
MIA last week.
I was very bitter. I know.
I mean,
it's
me and
sad.
Todd were rolling.
Yeah,
it wasn't the same.
Wasn't the same.
No, it's pretty cool though. Okay, wait, you had a horror story because we were just talking about labor and delivery, and
Oh.
the mother-in-law who said it was her right to be in the room.
Yeah, and the story I get. Here's what I miss.
Right.
I miss my dad's days, and I wasn't even alive then.
Right.
They didn't allow him in the delivery room.
Right. They're smoking a pipe outside.
So
Yeah, yeah.
long story short, I've had my wife's had 3 children.
Right.
I was part of it,
Good
but
save,
not part
good
of the
save.
deal.
Okay.
The first one at 7 hours before she had it, I disappeared out of the room and never returned and sent her mother in. I was young. I was standing in water. They'd broken her water. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't handle it.
Adventure dude.
You're still
Adventure
married.
dude.
Adventure dude.
You're still married.
Child 2.
You
Okay.
can, wait, you
4.5
can,
years later.
you can gut an elk, but you can't handle amniotic fluid.
Wait a minute. 4.5 years later, we have
Later.
our next child.
Next
they
test.
have to do a C-section.
Yeah.
Right.
So
He was there for mine.
So they bring me in.
Right.
I'm standing up there, the curtain, Tony, my wife.
Right.
And when the doctor is all of a sudden up on top of my wife, doing stomach compressions
Sound
to get this
familiar,
child
baby?
out, I about go down. I leave. The child isn't even out yet.
Okay, that's 2
Fast
down.
forward 3.5 years later
yeah.
for my last child.
Surprised it wasn't
I'm
longer.
like, I can do this.
Okay.
So me,
Hope you hear
wife,
me later.
curtain,
Yeah.
another C-section, get it going. Okay, things are good. I start hearing the suction. I start hearing some different things. But hey, why don't you just sit down, Mr. Abbott? So I sit down.
Because you're looking funny.
Put your head down between. Okay, I look down. And guess what's running between my legs? The clean out tube. Down goes Tony. 7 nurses are grabbing me. There's no one left for my wife and baby.
It's like a redwood
And I'm
going
going
down
down.
in California.
And people are like, just like you said, wait a minute, you gut deer. Yeah, I don't gut my wife. I don't want to see the insides of my wife.
Yeah.
Anyway, long story short, I don't think it's any place for a man. To this day, it's no place for a man. The
God
delivery room.
bless you.
I'm,
Your wife is a
funny.
saint.
oh, she's more than a
Your
saint.
wife is a freaky. I want to meet this woman so I can kiss her hand.
Well, I
But,
may
you know,
not be
I-
married after what we're about to do here, am I, Todd?
I'm going to show you the other side of Tony.
Oh, okay.
But first of all, let's talk about the big outdoor expo. coming
Oh,
up.
man, we're 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks out.
Almost sold out. I've got a handful of booths up on the top floor. They're $400 a booth if you want it, the big outdoors.
I was
Right.
talking to Lisa, our sales director, and she said that they've been picking up people from here, which I did not know. But you've got like food trucks coming. You've got all of these amazing vendors, people that I knew from here. I didn't realize how many good food vendors you have. You have gourmet cotton candy people coming.
Yes, we do.
I'm beside myself.
The
Candy
thing
apples.
about this is that like the whole family has stuff to do, which is kind of fun.
I love your kids section, by the way. That is such a good
You
idea.
will really, I mean,
That's
it's
such a good
not
idea.
a night out with Erin, but it's still pretty good.
Thank you.
That's
You're
right.
very sweet.
And
I know it is. I mean, it is. It's good.
12 and under get in free.
12 and under free.
It's cool. So tell your taller kids to slouch. And then the dates are.
And they do that in Utah, by
Yeah,
the way.
trust
he's,
me.
I'm like, the kid's 6 foot tall. Oh, yeah, he's 11.
It was early beginner.
Got a beard.
Dates are March 9th and 10th
Right.
at the UCCU Center in
Right.
Orem. And then the Saturday night, in fact, if you get on Smith Ticks right now, we've got the Jay Moore concert.
That's
and
right.
that's limited
Comedian,
seating.
funny guy.
I mean, he is funny.
Oh,
is
that's
funny.
so cool.
You guys may have an in for that one.
Oh, really?
That's very really.
Yes.
We might know somebody cool that
Maybe.
got
I mean,
guest list.
outdoor dude. They
True.
can't stand, doesn't want to see.
The mighty redwood.
Yeah,
the
anyway,
mighty redwood.
There's
yeah.
no place for a man.
So I was bragging on you because you're going to go to
I don't have my wallet on.
Thailand.
Oh, yes, I
Then
am.
you're going to fly back get your
Oh, I'm
wife.
so jealous.
Yes.
Then you're going to fly her to New Zealand.
Yeah, first time in 12 years that she's gone.
Oh my
So
gosh.
she's very excited. Well, like I said, by the end of this segment, she may not want to go anywhere with.
This is the funny thing. This is
This might be bringing up old memories. She's like, wait a
Well,
minute.
Todd's kind of he's got a way of just digging both sides of the. I mean, he can play both
see.
sides.
All right.
He does it well.
All right, so Mount Timpanogos, families going on a hike. Let's show the first part, shall we?
Look at that Emerald Lake.
Oh man, what a darling family.
How awesome's that?
Yes.
We hiked through the night, so we got there for sunrise. I think the
You
next.
hiked through the night.
Yes, we left at 10 o'clock at
Wow.
night. We
Oh
did
my
the
gosh.
Aspen Trailhead. We got here's us as the sun's coming
Okay,
up.
she
looking
is
down to
adorable.
Utah
She's
Lake.
adorable.
Thank you. The first time she's ever hiked Tim. Nightmare. She goes, she couldn't do it. We did. Oh, look at the big outdoor shirt. That's
far-
a shameful plug.
It
You
is.
are the
Shameless.
worst.
How
Good
far?
for
How far
you.
is it?
So that trail, that's about 7 miles that way.
it's up.
But it's the steep one.
Yeah, it
and
is.
then there's an 11-mile one
Right.
down. So
Oh, yeah,
I've
yeah.
spent years trying to get her up Tim. I've
Okay.
hiked it countless times.
Well, this sounds like a good setup because it's a wonderful experience to share.
Free.
And then let's show them the next part, shall we?
I don't know if you've seen this.
I
So
haven't.
this is on the. So this is at the bottom. This is search and rescue. Now let's rewind a little bit.
Wait, let me
and show
clarify.
you.
Why are we talking search and? That's a lot of search and rescue.
Well, you're about to find out. I don't
Go
know
ahead.
if we've got some pictures or video.
Oh my God! Please tell me that's not your wife,
On the way down, she falls and
Yeah.
breaks
Yeah.
her leg.
dude. What have you done?
People are saying I pushed her.
Well, some did.
Some are saying I pushed her.
She is an angel. What? This woman.
So there she is in the ER.
Oh.
Oh.
And
look at her cute pink fingernails.
Oh,
She's still adorable.
So she's not pleased with me at this moment because her worst nightmare happened. She fell and broke her leg coming down the mountain. Now, of
That's
course,
a fairly
me,
big break if she's
as-
in the
there
hot.
she is,
You're so screwed.
Oh,
you are.
She's still smiling like, yeah, I'm a good sport.
Well, and here's the thing. When she's laying there, I'm like, hey, look, you want me to just carry you out? And she's like, no. I'm like,
Hey, do it by myself.
well, there she goes. So they bring up the deer cart. This is what you wheel dead deer out
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Okay?
right.
So they bring the deer cart. They got this big
big
train of people.
wheelbarrow.
I mean, we're clear up to the
That's
top there.
freaking hysterical.
Well,
All that
while we're
poor
waiting
woman.
for search and rescue to get
And
there, I'm
thumbs up.
like, hey, if you want, I can just quarter you up and get you and skin you, and I can bring you down the mountain, pack you on my back.
You've
She didn't
done
think it was
enough.
funny.
I wonder why she didn't laugh at that.
So then I offered
I'm
chest
surprised she's-
compressions and mouth to mouth.
No.
But she doesn't want either.
No.
Erin, where did I go wrong? I'm an expert at getting things off the mountain.
How long
Look,
has
look at this.
How long
Look
has
at
she
this.
been married again?
26 years.
Yeah,
I'm surprised she used
I'm
her
really-
thumb when she did that finger up thing. I would
Oh,
think.
that is
So
so
this
harsh.
was the end of July.
How long did it take to get down?
So by the time they got her and
Right.
got her on the cart down, it was
Right.
about 6 hours.
Of bumpy carrying
And-
on a
and broken-
And
broken
of course, I
leg.
documented it all.
Well, you know, you're like that. You're a filmmaker. You're an observer. That's beautiful.
So what's
This
what's
woman is an
interesting
angel.
is my son was quite a bit ahead of us coming down the mountain, and there's pretty good cell service now. So when she fell, and I mean, we knew, you heard it. I mean, it was game over. And I'm of course trying to be nice and laughable and
Little late.
supportive.
I mean, chill you up. Gonna make you happy.
I figured I was kind of like Todd would have been with you.
Sure,
He's
yeah,
a
yeah.
little more loving than I am. Yeah. And so we waited. there.
Wait. So how long ago was this?
This would have been a summer ago.
And has she hiked with you since?
Oh no.
Never.
Never. So,
Okay.
and she swears she never will, but
Right.
now I'm heading to New Zealand.
Right.
Right after the expo.
And by
Right.
the way, if you did get a chance to meet his amazing friends, we did a whole segment with them, and
Oh, yes,
they're
Kate and
incredible.
Simon.
They're incredible estate. They're the most beautiful people, and that is the most amazing place. You have to go. You can go back on getpartdaily.com and you can see the whole interview because they're really special. Anyway, sorry.
Well, no, and that's good. So this will be my 12th year, and she's never been. And my son's
is
been
time.
twice. Anyway,
Right.
so I have a friend that's coming out to hunt. He's bringing his wife. He's a newlywed in November. And so I'm on the phone with him, and I turn to my wife. In fact, we just decided this like Sunday.
Oh, fun.
I'm like, hey, you want to go to New Zealand?
Cool.
Yes.
Question? Okay.
Yeah.
I said, but we're going for
Good.
2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
taking her to New Zealand.
Nice.
Maybe
Nice.
we'll do some hiking.
Tony,
Maybe I'm going to give it to Kate.
Tony.
Yeah.
There are cliffs there. I would not go close to you. Because payback, so you know what.
How good is your life insurance? I
Yeah.
bet
Really good. In fact, I just paid it.
That's fortunate.
You are
That's
the
fortunate.
worst.
All right, one more time. When is the expo?
The expo is March 9th and 10th, you guys. Like I said, there's a little bit of booth space left, but now it's about get it on your calendar.
gonna
Come
be
attend.
fun.
There's
Make sure
something
you're
for
there.
everyone.
It's so
Outfit
fun.
your next adventure.
Right.
Todd and Erin will be there.
Right.
I'll be there. TheBigOutdoors.com and get your J Moore tickets. You can get them right now at SmithTix.com. And a J Moore ticket gets you into the expo free.
Boom.
This
there
is
you
gonna
go.
be so much
Tony
fun.
Abbott.
Thank you,
Good
sir.
to
You're so
have you
kind.
back. You guys are the
I know I
best.
missed you all. This is great.
We'll be back right after this.
Oh, my goodness! He just attacked that. Oh, dude! That is freaking awesome!
There's about a 5.5, 6 foot octopus. Come back well, 10
What?
yards.
Here, I'll take that. I'm going to let you guys talk.
No. Welcome back. It is the Todd and Erin morning stream.
chaos
But
in
live
here.
Daisy. Really, like it ever is not chaos here.
It's like rush hour on the London Underground.
Something like that.
All right, so we experience Uber, what do they call it?
Uber Eats, and it's
Uber Eats.
been a disaster both times.
And I did Grubhub.
Okay, so
Oh, good.
we did our review on it where there was a mess up of addresses and stuff like that. First time we did it. Mm-hmm. And now what's it called?
Grubhub.
Grubhub.
So you and Jay were
Here we
you were
go.
thinking,
I'm leaving.
I want to have food. I'm
Yeah,
going to
and
order
I
it
want
on
to hear
Grubhub.
your story too about Uber Eats because I was wondering whether to try that.
So Monday night, right, it's freezing cold, The Bachelor's on, I'm super excited, Jay's being a darling, he's going to watch it with me, and I say to him, babe, do you know what, we've never had food delivered to our house, we've been, because...
And there's so many pleasing options now,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
And it's funny in England because you can get takeaway, but you don't really get food delivered very much.
That's why it's takeaway, you have to go and take it away from the restaurant.
Yeah, so you go and bring it back. So it's not really in my mentality, but I said to him, I was like, so... should we just get takeaway? Should we be really naughty? Because I don't really feel like cooking and all this. He's like, yeah, okay, let's do that. So, so we talk about pizza. We decide we might want Pizzeria Limone. And the way to do...
yummy.
Yeah. Have you had Pizzeria Limone?
No, but I've heard it's really good.
So good.
Okay, good.
And not too expensive. So, okay, that's a good idea. The way you order Pizzeria Limone is through Grubhub.
Mm-hmm.
So Grubhub charges about $3.99, and then there's...
I could do that.
Yeah, and then there's a minimum order. And the minimum order was like $20. But we were like, that's cool. We can order a pizza, a salad, put some extra toppings on. That'll be great. So we ordered, and they said an hour, and it was 6 o'clock. We're like, that's cool. But we were a little hungry by then. Sorry, this is going a long time. I'm painting the picture for you.
No. But the trouble is, we all know that moment when you're hungry. Then it's like the hour starts ticking very slowly because you are waiting.
Exactly. So it comes to 7. Look, actually about 7:15, and she comes along with our Pizzeria Limone bag. That's great. So we're quite hungry.
You're like, thank you. I'm going to pounce.
Thank you so much. So we go in, we open it up. We're like, this looks good. Not our order.
Oh, that's a problem. Not
but
what
good.
we wanted.
But good. We have a pizzeria with a pizza with like pepperoni and a different salad and then a brownie. We're like, okay,
it's just not
ideal. And then I pull out the receipt from the person that it's supposed to be going to, and it has her cell number. She lives like not too many blocks away from us.
Oh, okay.
And it tells us what she ordered. So Jay gets on the phone to Grubhub to see, what...
Can you come back and bring me my pizza?
Yeah, and then...
We're hungry.
But then her cell number was on the receipt. So I text her, and I'm like, God, I'm so enterprising, right?
I think it's smart.
Yeah, so I just text her, and I'm like,
do you have my pizza?
Smart. I'm like, so the Grubhub driver's coming your way with our order. We've got yours. Do you want, if she can come back and bring ours, she can take yours.
That's
blah,
very
blah, blah.
clever, yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So there's this silence. And in the meantime, Jay's on the phone with Grubhub, and the nice lady from Grubhub says, it's very unlikely that she'll come back. So what we can do is we'll give you a refund, and you can reorder.
But I'm hungry.
And I'm like, well...
And my order's like 3 blocks away from me.
Yeah, so that takes another hour. So then it's 8 o'clock. But then Jay and I's brains start ticking, and we're like, all right. So he goes, yeah, we'll take the refund. And then, perhaps we'll put in another order. So we're going to get a refund. Mm-hmm. But then we're like, well, we'll just eat hers. It looks pretty good.
Sure, fine.
And by this time, I'm praying that she doesn't then come back. And then we're like, oh, no.
I just had your brownie. I'm sorry. It looked delicious.
But the end part of the story was that, so I text her, and finally she texts back, and she's like, oh, your order looked fairly similar to ours. So we've just gone ahead and we're just eating it. And I text her back, and I'm like, great.
That's hysterical.
So... By the way, ask Grubhub for a refund.
Oh, good for you.
Because
you screwed it up. Yeah.
And she goes, oh yeah, that's a good idea. And then the end of the story is I said to Jay, like, you're gonna cringe at this. I said, babe, how funny would this be, right? I text her, and I'm like, hey, you sound really cool, and you liked my food, and I liked yours. So can we hang out sometime?
Yeah, that would be creepy.
And I didn't do that, but
I'm very relieved.
I was laughing so hard because can you imagine if she got that text? She'd be
like, I'm just going to spit this pizza right back up now.
Oh, God, block the number.
You were so creepy. It's because you were watching The Bachelor. I gave you the creeper instinct. That's what happened.
Yeah. So what was your Uber Eats?
No, Uber Eats
one?
was really weird. I ordered online both times on my computer, on my PC, and one time it went to 4th South and State Street. I have no idea why. And you can see the little dot stop, and it's like, why are you stopping there?
And that's not
That's a long. And
particularly
he texted me,
near.
he goes, well, where are you? I'm at this, and I'm like, that's not our address. And I went back, and you can't change anything, and you can't contact a Mac unless you've got the app on your phone. And I did it online, so I had to go back and I had to re-download the app on my phone, which took like 10 minutes. And by then he's like, I can't believe you didn't answer my thing. I've taken it back. Your order is canceled. And I'm like, but I was just trying to get the app on the... So the next time I was smart, and I had the app ready on my phone. And then I tried ordering again. And this time he ended up over in Harvard Yale somewhere.
Oh,
So
which
both-
is also not near you.
No. So the computer, for some reason, their system for some reason changed our address each time. I don't know if maybe it flipped it to somebody else's order or something, but so we never got food that was actually warm, and I kind of gave up. I'm like, never.
That was
mind.
the other thing. The pizza was totally cold.
Yeah. I was like, never mind. It's not worth the effort. It's
I
just
would be
too tiring.
curious, though, if anyone watching has had, I mean, I'm not dissing Grubhub. It's just that it wasn't a great experience.
Maybe Uber Eats
but-
you've had better experiences
Yeah,
than
tell
we did.
us if you have had good experiences, because I would be interested, if anyone loves it.
You know what? If I had thought of the creeper approach, though, I think I would have broken it. I would have
It
tried
was so
it.
silly. It just made me laugh so hard. I was like,
'Cause it's
"God, this
horrible."
is so awkward and funny and
Because you
awesome.
keep picturing her pick up the phone going,
Oh my god! Like that lady has no friends.
Are you an attractive young couple too?
Yeah.
Are we going to try it again?
No.
Are we going to try it again? No. Why?
We should
I like
try
warm
Uber
food.
Eats, and you should try Grubhub.
And then we'll see if we get each other's food.
Yeah, that's a good
It's
idea.
entirely possible.
All right, Daisy. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
so
Thank you, baby.
There you go. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate the creeper instincts. You're beautiful.
That's funny.
Yeah, that was disappointing. Alrighty, well, this is very funny to me. Now, you know that there's been a lot of, and as there should be, by the way, there should be a huge amount of discussion about consent.
Yeah.
And they're doing a lot of things. There's a couple of bills in the Utah State Legislature that approach that. There's a lot of different ones that are going on college campuses now
Right.
that address it. But as always, there is an app for that.
Is there?
Yeah,
Is it
they
like,
have
is he
sexual.
signing like a contract or something?
They have sexual consent apps. It's true. Well,
How does it work?
this is true, and I think this is very important, and I would like to hope that at some point, if you were going to choose to be this intimate with someone, you would know them well enough that you could discuss these things.
True.
Because that's important. You can't, it is, it's really important. You want to be able to know where you draw the line. You want to know what you feel comfortable.
Right.
But for a lot of people, that is relatively horrifying
So
to
what's,
even
I don't understand
assume.
the app thing.
So, well, this is pretty interesting. Of course, the core of anything is basically the question of yes or no and what was consent. Number one is the smartphone app We Consent, and another one that's Saucy. And basically, it's a consent by click matrix where you go online and you're looking at each other's phones.
Yeah.
Pick up your phone and pretend you're looking.
Okay.
We're looking at each other's phones. We're going.
I have
la,
your
la, la,
phone?
la, la. No, you're looking at your phone.
Okay, I got my phone.
And I'm sending you're looking up Stacy, and I'm looking up it, and then it's got the little checklist. I go, my name's
Okay.
Erin, and you're like, oh, hi, Todd.
I'm preparing.
And then there
this.
might be a short checklist.
Are we this close to each other, actually?
That probably so, because I would probably be this person and be like, look at my phone, look at your phone. And then it gives you a checklist.
Okay.
And then, and then at the bottom you have to go, I consent. Now, I would like to point out, this is for both the male and the female. It should be very clear that you also consent. And so once you have
Is there an emoji, like a smiley face?
here's the best
You could
thing.
put up, like,
Here's the best thing.
Enthusiastic consent?
It is now a legally binding contract with an encrypted transcription verifiable stamp
I stole
using
this one, I'm sorry.
blockchain technology. Now, if one of you breaches the agreement, say by not using protection or perhaps
First of all, it's illegal.
you could end up in court on a breach of contract lawsuit. Now, one of the reasons that they've been using this to approach is they say the criminal court is, of course, obviously very serious, but it is also more difficult. It is more difficult to prove these things. If you're going into a legally binding arbitration, then you can actually go on a much more severe charge in terms of penalties and fines. So one of the things they're saying is they're trying to take it out of that arena and into a separate one where it becomes, I guess, more verifiable.
All right, so question.
Yes.
If you are so much into your phone that you know about this app and you're going to use it, and you use your phone that much.
Oh, and Legal Fling is another one that's awesome.
And you use it that much, when would you have time to meet someone? You're like, oh, hi, she's kind of attractive. I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to look at my phone some more.
It's nice to know there's an app for anything. I actually thought the approach was kind of interesting.
It is. It's more playful than, you know what I mean?
I think that for a certain population, they would go, that's very cool, I could totally do that.
Name me a Disney character.
Little Mermaid.
On strike. What's her name? Ariel.
Ariel, yeah.
Name me another one.
Mickey and Minnie.
On strike. Name another one. Strike.
Goofy.
Sorry. Strike.
Moana.
On strike.
Okay.
all-
Okay, everyone's on
they're all
strike
on strike.
apparently.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me more.
They're still working because it is the happiest place on earth.
It's a working strike. I've never heard of that before.
Yes. Because, well, just because.
You know what, though? A lot of them are very dedicated, and they're to the point where, like, I cannot let these kids down.
They are on the union. Some of them are unionized, and this is in the Florida location.
Yeah, a lot of them have SAG certification, Screen
Right.
Actors Guild. So, yeah.
Well, this is a union. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so basically what they've done is Disney is going to, because of the new tax deal.
They'd made a big announcement that they were giving all of their employees a $1,000 bonus, which is fantastic.
Except for the ones in the union.
What do you
Because
mean?
they haven't voted on the contract yet, the new contract that they're looking at. So they don't get a grant.
So until they agree to
not that
sign
happy.
the contract, they don't get their bonus.
It's not the happiest place on earth.
Isn't that kind of like extortion? Hey, the guy at the churro stand has $1,000.
That's right.
But because you have refused to sign the contract, you're not getting anything until you do.
Even Goofy got money. 7 dwarfs, $1,000. But not
Can
the
they
union
do
guys.
that?
Well, they're going to.
I guess they
They're
can.
going to work it out.
I guess they can,
They're
but
going to work it out.
work it out. This is for the children, people.
That's still my favorite new thing about Disneyland, and I read this the other day, and it just kills me, is whenever you see Woody and his girlfriend out in costume, and they're out walking around, and if you yell, "Here comes Andy," they both collapse to the ground like rag dolls.
Bonelessly. It's really cute. Probably not for them because
I
probably
would go there just for that.
I bet people shout that 300 times a day. They'll be
Oh,
like,
my
I'm
gosh.
getting concrete rush. Please just
That is
stop.
hilarious.
All right, coming up next, we've got Hollywood Connection, a big couple breaking up, which is, I always think that's sad. And George and Amal Clooney are awesome, and so is
Again?
Ryan Reynolds on the Deadpool set, doing the weirdest thing you would picture on a set as strange and filthy as depraved as Deadpool.
It's coming up next.
We'll explain.
The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink and McGregor, Mortgages Made Simple. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, you'll find out that you can get a mortgage with a credit score as low as 600. Fink and McGregor, also by the Vein Clinic. If you go to theveinclinic.com, you can schedule an appointment and find out some amazing options for pain-free removal of varicose veins and spider veins. Your legs can look great again with the Vein Clinic. And also by Black Diamond Experts. They're experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. And they also have a brand new store up in Ogden now. If you'd like to reach them, you can go to blackdiamondexperts.com.
So, Jeff, you do mortgages, right?
I do.
How do you do?
Well, you go to our website, 4minutemortgage.com, fill out the application. We'll call you within 1 business day. The whole thing takes about a month, start to finish.
We went to the bank
They got really personal.
and went through all of our personal records and all of our finances.
And then there was that little deal about the $8,000 closing costs.
It took like 4 months.
That's funny. That's funny.
How's the bacon, honey?
Awesome.
Glad you could run out off the set and get some.
Let's go to the Hollywood Connection, brought to you by
Connect Heating and Air. They're the great people who can handle a maintenance schedule for all of your commercial properties, and you don't have to worry about a thing. Just go to utahheatingandcooling.com. Okay, George and Amal Clooney, can we love them more? No.
You didn't give me a chance to answer.
Okay, George and Amal Clooney, can we love them?
No.
Can we love them more?
No.
Because they're awesome.
Why?
Okay, well, now, I was impressed with him because he's always been a perennial bachelor. He married Amal, who is the most amazing woman ever. She's a barrister in London. She's a freaking genius. She works on human rights. She prosecutes war criminals around the world. So basically, she's like about as awesome as you can
How long
get.
has she been making coffee? She's a barrister? Oh, wait, that's a lawyer.
A barista.
Right, that
Barrister
coffee.
would be a...
Barrister, okay.
Okay, and they had twins who were adorable.
They're adorable.
And they're like super happy. And when he won his Academy Award, he said, I don't know what mysterious alchemy brought you into my universe, but I'm so grateful for you. So it's like, they can't be cooler.
Plus he used an old word.
Alchemy's awesome. This was really interesting. They just gave $500,000 to the upcoming March for Our Lives event. This is the one where the students and teachers are basically walking out of school, and a lot of them are going to try to converge on Washington, D.C. to march about gun control and talk about what's going on. And basically he said, Amal and I are so inspired by the courage and eloquence of these young kids. He said that we're going to attend the march. We're going to be there with you. We'll stand beside you. And they said our family's going to be there to stand with this incredible generation in the name of our children, Ella and Alexander, to help pay for the groundbreaking event. He says our children's lives depend on it.
Mm-hmm.
So great. They just made me cry, so maybe I don't like him as much anymore.
You know what the cool thing
They're
about
still
this was, and
adorable.
I'm not going to get into it. I don't want to
This
get
is not about, yeah.
This is not about that.
Let's talk about the fact that our children
Let me
have done activism.
Okay, so interesting because the baby boomers, right? The baby boomers, they can say the words, "Gosh, you know, these shootings never happened in my day. These shootings never happened when I was in high school.
It was unheard of. Yeah.
Never happened. And now you have the millennials, and the millennials say this has always happened.
This is what I grew up with.
This is their age. Is like this is something I remember from first grade. I remember these things happening my entire life, which is going to change some stuff. And matter of fact, I heard some people complaining yesterday about the teachers doing a strike. Was it
March 14th, a month from the event.
And there's some different times and schedules about that. And they're and it's like, you know what? They're giving you how many months warning on this? That they're not going to go to school on a certain day. And it was like, well, you know, what do I do with my kids? And you know what? This is about your kids. And you can make arrangements. They're giving you plenty of time. And I hope you can find those arrangements because this is something important to teachers. This is, I mean, you don't really hear.
We'll be there at our march with our kids.
What kind of effect this has on teachers as well.
Well, I mean yeah, they're putting their bodies between a gunman and your children.
Right. So anyway.
So yeah, they get to do, at that point I'm figuring you get to do anything you want.
They get to say.
I'll stand there with you.
And it's just going to be a different voice, I think. It's going to be really interesting.
And no matter what I think no matter what your stance is on this, and I think it is so much more complicated than just gun control, but we have to start having a conversation that's serious. But the fact that it takes 14-year-old children to go, okay, we're done here, you have to do something. When your 14-year-old kids have to tell you that you're not taking care of them, that's really sad.
All right.
So,
and how to do that? Not a clue in the world. All right, so let's talk about Ryan Reynolds.
Deadpool was, of course, the highest grossing R-rated movie in history. And if you haven't seen it, it's terrible but incredibly funny.
It is terribly bad.
If you have seen it, you also already know it's terrible but incredibly funny. And I love Ryan Reynolds.
Like if you think you have a moderate taste that you could put up with a 5 out of 10, you're wrong. Don't.
So he just posted this picture of himself, and we'll show it to you. Now, he's on the set of Deadpool, which is the most god-awful place ever, and he said, one of the best parts of playing the big red idiot is welcoming Make-A-Wish and the Children's Foundation onto the set.
What?
So he had all these adorable Make-A-Wish kids on the set of Deadpool.
And he's just being nice to them.
It's just this horrible movie.
Oh, that's funny.
And he's in costume, and he took them all around, and he actually is an amazing dad, and he loves kids.
Yeah,
took them all around, showed them everything. They got to try out all the props. He let them beat up all the stuntmen.
Oh, funny.
Which
funny.
I thought was awesome. But what an amazing thing he did. So, and he said one of the reasons that he thought this was important, and he was kind of confused that he got so many requests for Make-A-Wish, because he's like, why would your kids?
Why did you watch this?
It's because Deadpool, if you remember, his character was diagnosed with terminal cancer.
Oh, right.
And he was doing, and as a puny, weak human, he was doing everything he could to live for the woman he loved.
Right.
And so all of these kids related to this. They resonated with what Deadpool went through to stay.
Okay. Right.
And so it's sweet, but it's also like,
it's disturbing.
That is so creepy.
Yeah.
But I'm proud of him.
Jennifer Aniston.
Justin Theroux. This is a sad thing. Last year it was Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. And no.
Oh,
Jennifer,
wait a minute.
No, Jennifer and Brad are not getting back together. Please don't say that again, please.
So what happened? What's going on?
They've been, I guess, I didn't realize this. They apparently got married 2 years ago in a secret ceremony. Nobody knew they got married.
Right.
They kind of just did it.
Right.
Which is good for them. And then they did the standard Hollywood announcement. We are two best friends who have decided to part ways as a couple, but look forward to continuing our cherished relationship. Normally we would do this privately, but given that the gossip industry cannot resist an opportunity to speculate an event, we wanted to convey the truth directly. So
There you go.
there you go. I'm sorry. I always hate it when people. I don't think I've ever cheered when someone got divorced, except for one time when the woman was crazy and she tried to kill the husband, which seemed like a good thing to cheer a divorce. But I've never been happy. It's always like a sad thing.
All right, so information
Always.
is coming up with Daisy.
All right, she's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom, and she is brought to you by Fink and McGregor, Mortgages Made Simple. If you're really concerned about all the weird changes we've seen with interest rates and the stock market, what you should be doing, a 4-minute trip to think-mcgregor.com will give you a ton of answers, options for mortgages. Someone can call you back within the next business day. Also, by the Vein Clinic. If you go to theveinclinic.com, you can book a consultation. I go to the Riverton location, and I had a pain-free varicose vein surgery that was done in, I think, 20 minutes while I checked my phone, and you could see the results within 3 days. That's pretty good. And also by Brio Technologies, your experts in lighting, sound, and video. They are experts because the owner is currently on a concert tour with David Archuleta, which tells you he knows what he's doing. Go to brioaudiovisual.com. Daisy, my dear, what's going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Here's what's making national and world news headlines on Wednesday, February 21st on Gephardt Daily. Police in Las Vegas say they have arrested a suspect in the cold-blooded murder of 2 homeless men and the attempted murder of 2 others. Police say that 26-year-old Joshua Castellon was taken into custody Tuesday after being identified by federal and local law enforcement officials. Las Vegas police say they have surveillance video and ballistic evidence tying Castellon to the deadly crime spree, but the real break in the case came from a tip provided by a person police called a viewer. The Department of Justice is creating a task force to study cybersecurity issues, including efforts to undermine U.S. elections, Attorney General Jeff Sessions announced Tuesday. The internet has given us amazing new tools that help us work, communicate, and participate in our economy, but these tools can also be exploited by criminals, terrorists, and enemy governments, he said. The announcement came less than a week after an indictment accusing 13 Russian nationals and 3 Russian organizations of using fake social media accounts to meddle in the last U.S. presidential election. And the TSA announced Tuesday that it set a weekly record by finding more than 100 firearms in carry-on bags. Between February 5th and 11th, officers found 104 firearms in carry-on bags at U.S. airports. That breaks the previous record of 97, which was set last July. The agency said that 87 of the 104 guns were loaded. TSA rules prohibit any guns, but especially loaded ones, in carry-on luggage. Also found in carry-on luggage during the record-setting week were 2 1-pound containers of gunpowder, a sword, and an inert shell from the Civil War. And now time for another look at your Wasatch Front weather, brought to you by Brio Technologies, Utah's top audio-visual specialists. The roads should be drier today, but take it easy on the gas pedal since patches of ice are still quite likely. Temperatures will remain cold through the weekend with a small chance of snowstorms on Friday and again on Sunday. Dress warmly and drive safely, Utah. That's it for now. For more news from across the nation and around the world, go to GephartDaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you, my dear Daisy.
Thank you, Daisy. Thank you very much. All right, so you want the story?
Yeah, of course I do.
All right, so the story is a plane makes an emergency landing.
We've all seen those fights break out.
Dubai to Amsterdam.
Now, that's a long freaking flight.
It is.
So for fisticuffs to break out, there's issues.
They went to Vienna. They had to land in Vienna and get people off the plane because there was fisticuffs on the airplane.
Tell them why.
Usually, there's an issue of...
Someone maybe has a psychotic break, or there's wildly drunk, crazy people.
Crazy.
Someone
sick.
fix your baby.
Someone's sick. You gotta make emergency landing. In this case, it was this guy. These 2 Dutchmen were on there, and they were complaining. The guy who sat between them was breaking wind a lot.
I think you can just say it. The flight attendant report says he was farting maliciously.
Maliciously.
Meaning that they were like, he was passing gas, it was horrible, and the guy's like, dude, could you go to the bathroom? And he just looks at him, no.
No, and then...
And he literally, I guess he can fart on command or cue or whatever.
He did, anyway.
He continued to do this, and the people behind him are on going like, dude, go to the bathroom.
You're killing us.
This isn't right. And he's like, no, I'm not going anywhere. And continued. I was like, that is like the weirdest thing. I mean, it's like... Why would you do that even?
First of all, impressive. Number two, don't do that.
And apparently they had contacted the flight attendants. The flight attendant said, it's a full flight. There's nothing we can do. You're going to have to just live with it.
It wouldn't matter if you were in first class and he was at the back. It wouldn't matter. It's a closed air system.
He's basically a weapon. He's a biological weapon of doom.
So the fight started.
I can't blame them.
Punch. Call the cops, land in Vienna. They are taken off the plane. No arrests were made.
You didn't arrest the malicious farter? That seems very...
What would you charge him with?
Well, because it's still causing disruption on a plane, isn't it?
What's it called?
Okay, you've smelled one of our son's farts.
No,
if that's not a weapon...
Can you stop saying that word?
If that is not a weapon, then I don't know what is.
Can you stop saying that word and bring our son into this? Thank you.
No, actually, when he passes gas, he's your son.
The story is now ruined. Coming up, though,
really? It could get prettier?
I was going to handle it a totally different way. Delicately.
My delicate husband was going to tiptoe gingerly around the unfortunate subject of the gaseous emissions.
You gotta, this is...
Sorry.
I'm going to give you the definition of being brave. And that is jumping into the water to save someone when you can't swim yourself. Coming up next.
The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, there's a short 4-minute quiz, and at the end of it, you can find a whole array of mortgage options, and someone will call you back from Fink and McGregor within the next business day. Also by Utah Credit Approval. Go to utahcreditapproval.com because they know that bad things happen to good people, but that shouldn't stop you from repairing your credit and getting a reliable automobile at utahcreditapproval.com. And also all Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. John has 24/7 service because he knows that emergencies can happen any time of the day or night. And right now they have a $69 special to check out all your heating systems to make sure they're working well. Just go to allutahplumbing.com.
Wow.
Still, it does not get old.
Every time I look at that guy is just like... I mean, he had to have set a land speed record to get out of the way of that car.
So the camera's in the car, looking at the accident. That's a highway patrol.
This is UHP yesterday. 4 of their cars got hit. Fortunately, none of the troopers got hurt. But
they always park themselves in the way so that if something like that happens, they
How many accidents was there yesterday?
450.
Oh, my gosh.
All right. I want to take you to a story, another police story. Talking about putting yourself in danger. We're going to do this on the way out.
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay, all right.
Let me do the lawmaker first.
All right, do the lawmaker first.
All right, every state's got one, the crazy one. The crazy lawmaker. That when the crazy satellite flies over, all of a sudden their head starts shaking and they start screaming incomprehensible things. We've had a few here. But this is my favorite. There was a Republican Idaho state senator. He was coming around the corner and there were a group of high school students. And they were there to talk about laws about contraception and safe sex. They're doing student activism. And I guess he completely lost it and started screaming things at them and completely lost it. This is Senator Dan Foreman. He was eventually sort of like pulled away by Capitol Security. Now, you have to take a look at his Twitter account. I deleted my old account due to all the liberal outrage I was getting. Clearly, they can't handle the capital T. Truth, I was singing. And he puts up a flag that is, I believe it's Chile, I'm not sure. It's not an American flag. Can you put up the next one? So that's the wrong one.
Yeah,
the wrong flag. And then if you guys can put up, there's one more slide. If you got, there we go. This is crazy guy. I endeavor to bring my leadership and executive management ability to the district. And he goes, sorry for using the wrong country's flag in one of my tweets. And he just keeps going down. And he goes, my typing here is now fixed, and now my name is Senator Dan the Man. And you just keep going down through his tweets, and they just get crazier and crazier and crazier. But he's American.
So anyway, take that away
students,
from him.
He's just crazy.
All right, I'm going to take you to the story. I'm going to end the show with this.
Okay.
First of all, thanks for watching. Number 2, here's the story. There's someone in the water. Just picture this. There's someone in the water. You're a policeman. This gentleman's name is Mohammed Nadim, and he is an officer, and he can't swim. Now, imagine that he still has his belt on with his gun and all that equipment, about 35 pounds, 30 pounds. And this guy decides he can't swim, but guess what he's going to do? He's going to go in the water. So we're going to say thank you for watching, and we will see you tomorrow morning. This is courage.